All right, Alabama, let's get down to business here. It's championship week. Texas Longhorns going to the Rose Bowl and the BCS Championship against the Alabama Crimson Tide. And, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things I've been hearing from Alabama fans lately. And Wednesday, I'll talk about, the game itself, more, give my thoughts to exactly what I think may happen. But, everything I'm going to say in this is what I've heard from people here on YouTube, Bama fans. And so if you've got issue with any of those arguments, go talk to your own boys, because this is what I've been hearing from them. So some of you have been, got them jumbled up or whatever. But, one thing, and I think Bama Bill wrote this somewhere, and, heard others saying that Alabama Crimson Tide are going to come out fired up because they've been disrespected. Disrespected. This team is ESPN and the media's love child or something. This is all they've been saying everywhere. Alabama's going to kill Texas. That's what everyone's been saying. Please tell me where during these last few weeks has Alabama been disrespected? If any team's disrespected, it's Texas. And yeah, you've heard it, and I'll say it again. The same thing happened in '05. USC was compared to one of the greatest teams of all time. Texas was an afterthought. This year, Alabama's being compared to one of the best teams, and Texas is an afterthought. I've seen with ESPN, they try hard to make it equal, but they can't do it. I saw a headline that said Colt McCoy and the Texas Longhorn offense is going to see something they've never seen, the number one pass defense from Alabama. That's fine. But then the one for our defense is, how is Texas going to figure out how to stop Mark Ingram? Everything's slanted towards Alabama. Everything's for Alabama. Who's disrespecting Alabama? I don't know where you guys are getting that from. Because everywhere I've been hearing, other than from Texas people, is that, Alabama's this ain't even a championship. It's pointless. One of you even said pointless in Pasadena because Alabama's apparently supposed to kill Texas. Some of you saying 38-14, whatever. We'll see what happens on Thursday. Also, one of the main things is Texas A&M has been brought up, and of course OU and Nebraska. And they talk about, they look at Texas A&M. They dropped 39 points on y'all, and Georgia killed y'all. And they're a mid-level SEC team, whatever. Well, Texas A&M's a bottom-dwelling Big 12 team. And last time, please don't look at Texas A&M and whatever they do and compare it to Texas. If you want, once again, we'll go back to 2005 again. We went to College Station in 2005, just like this year, and I was at that game. A&M with Stephen McGee gave us a game. I think we won that thing by like 11 points. I can't remember the final score, but they were in it the whole time. I mean, it was getting scary there for a second, and they fought us tooth and nail, and they didn't go to a bowl game that year. And with OU, once again, another big-time rival with a pretty good defense who's going to come out more fired up against a rival team than they are against, other team. And so we bring back Auburn and Tennessee. I think it fits so well with both teams with Texas and Alabama. Now, I know Texas' biggest rivals, in-state, it's Texas A&M, out-state, Oklahoma. So I'm guessing with Alabama, Auburn is your in-state rival, Tennessee is your out-of-state rival. Well, what was your two toughest games, or two of your toughest games, where you had a chance to lose? Auburn and Tennessee. Fitting how your in-state rival put up more offensive numbers than usual on you, kind of like our in-state rival did. And with Tennessee, it was more of a defensive field goal type game where you had to block a field goal to win a game. I think you had to block two or so to win a game, kind of like us in Oklahoma. Our out-of-state rival was more of a defensive field goal game. Same thing. So I understand why you're bringing that up. And one of you, I think it was Bama Boy or someone, brought up how that's irrelevant. I agree. But it's the Bama fans who bring it up and forget about Auburn. When we bring up Auburn, here's what they say, and this is what I don't understand. They say, you don't understand Auburn. Okay, that's the Iron Bowl. That's the in-state rivalry. Yeah, you throw the records out. I can say the same thing about the Lone Star Showdown. Texas versus Texas A&M. Don't care what the records are. That thing's usually, especially within College Station, is going to come down to the wire. Same with Oklahoma, and probably the same way with Tennessee with y'all. Those are rivalry games. And once again, don't use A&M losing in a bowl game. A&M haven't won a bowl game in over a decade. All right? And so I don't understand. And Auburn barely squeaked out a win against Northwestern, Who cares about the past opponents and stuff and where you struggle in the year? As one of your guys said, every team who wins a championship doesn't go completely unscathed through the year, as in every single game is just a cakewalk. Okay? There's hiccups along the road. There's times where you got to dig deep. I think both of these teams have done that. But I think Alabama gets way more respect for their digging down deep and fighting hard because they're in the SEC. And Texas, well, they're just struggling. They've been exposed. Man, I love this. I love hearing about how Texas doesn't have a chance because it falls right into Texas' hands. And you can talk about how Saban, because Saban knows it. Saban's a great coach, and Saban knows that all this stuff don't help. He knows that all this junk that he's hearing is not helping his team. You know? And, and Ben, I want to go back to one of your videos. You talked about trends. You talked about bowl trends. You said, look at Alabama's bowl trend. It's loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. And apparently this one falls on a win because your team couldn't get motivated last year to beat a Utah team. Well, let me give you our past 5 or 6 years of bowl. This is our trend in bowl games. Win, 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 win. Oh, look, there's another win this year. I can do the same thing. I don't know where that even comes into anything. And to talk about, which team's more motivated, that Alabama's hungry for this because they haven't won one since 92. Listen here. Last year you weren't very hungry for anything because you got whipped by Utah. And the argument is, well, we weren't motivated or whatever. Utah won it more than we did. Blah, blah, blah. Well, I can talk about a game where a couple years back in the Holiday Bowl. Now, I know it's not a big-time bowl game, but it was a year that Texas was picked to do something special. We screwed up during the year, ended up going to the Holiday Bowl to play Arizona State. Everybody's picking Arizona State, and they probably should have because Texas was playing pretty pitiful that season. Mac Brown got into those boys, and they came out and rolled Arizona State, destroyed them. Now, I don't care if it was Arizona State, it could have been Georgia. I don't care if it was the 95 Cornhuskers. What I'm talking about is the attitude that Texas had, that switch that Mac Brown is able to change in this team to get them fired up for a bowl game. For a bowl game, it didn't mean that. It's the Holiday Bowl. They're motivated every weekend, year in and year out. And don't act like, Alabama fans talk like they've been on top for so long. That, here comes Alabama, we're the winning tradition. You got 12 championships. And congratulations for that. I'm not knocking that. Though, I will say to the one guy who was reading off, who, in his argument against Texas, was reading off years that they've won championships, about 1936, whatever. And if Texas didn't have a national championship, that wouldn't matter. Look, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. I know about talking about Super Bowls. But during the season, that don't mean nothing. These players have nothing to do with those championships right now. It's about this season. And don't act like Texas isn't hungry. That's what I get from a lot of Alabama fans. Pretty much what it comes down to, they pretty much say that, Texas, you don't understand how hungry you are for a championship and how desperately we want this thing. You talk about 1992 is the last time. Do you remember last year what happened with Texas? The opportunity that was taken away from us by a computer game? We're not going to squander that opportunity. This team's hungry to get there, okay? We were wrong last year, all right? And didn't get to go play with this national title. We still won our bowl game because we were in the same position Alabama was. We went and played Ohio State and won. You guys played Utah and lost. Which I'm not saying has a bearing on this game. What I'm saying is don't act like Texas can't get motivated and that Alabama is nothing but a hungry group of guys to play to win. I've seen that team play before. And also, finally, a lot of you guys get into, you finally just fall back on just naming guys off the rosters. Naming off, we got Julio Jones and Terrence Cody, Orlando McClain. Start naming off guys on your team. We can do that too with Sergio Kendall, Earl Thomas, Shockey Brown, Jordan Shipley, Colt McCoy. I can keep going with these guys, with Roderick McElroy and the Ocho brothers and everybody. We can name off rosters. The thing, here it comes down to it, by naming off rosters, you're admitting that you have a good team. Texas is a great team too. This is going to be two great teams, and this is going to be a battle. And I'll give you a little bit what I think is going to happen with Colt McCoy. I think Colt McCoy is going to get hit in this game. I think Colt McCoy's face is going to get driven to the dirt 2 or 3 times. There's going to maybe a time where we're like, is he even going to get up after that? But here's the deal. He's going to get back up. The dude's been working. The guy has been working, and this team has been working. And they're not going to be denied this year. This year is Texas' year. Don't get it twisted, Alabama. Texas is the team that's going to come out with that trophy. And I can't wait for it. We'll see you guys later. Hook 'em horns and Texas fight. See you on Thursday. Let's go Horns.